All right, guys. So I've had requests a lot about trying to explain dispute letters and credit repair companies just to kind of get an understanding of, what it really looks like. There's a lot of credit repair out there. There's a lot of people who claim to do, above and beyond. And, there's even some people that claim to do what we can do and try to knock that off. So I would just want to go through a little bit about the most common tactic. There's two types of tactics that credit repair companies tend to use, or individuals. The first one are dispute letter tactics, right? Okay, and then the second one's going to be lawsuits, and I'll go over them both in a little bit. So I got my little fancy whiteboard here. Hopefully I can make this thing work. So at the start of all of this, let me see if I can pull this thing up. So at the start, what happens is you're going to send like this little fancy letter, right? Template, whatever it is, you're going to send that, and it is going to go to an address at the credit bureau. This is fancy right here. So it goes to the address at the credit bureau. Okay. Now, this is what generally is going to happen. It's going to be opened by a machine. Okay. And it's going to be scanned by a machine. And they set the parameters of what happens next. Okay. Now, obviously, they have a slightly more sophisticated systems now. I'm just giving you a general overview. So, there's things in between, but the basics you'll grasp, and this will help in the future. So when you see dispute letters, you'll know. So then that machine opens it up. It almost like a conveyor belt that it like feeds down. Okay, then it scans every one, remembers every single letter, and then there's two decisions it's going to make. It's either going to go marked verified, right? And it's going to return back to you, right? So it's going to go back to you. All right, automatically. You'll never see a human being. So if there's certain parameters that the system has been set at, like if there's the word delete in the letter, mark it verified, send it back, right? So I'll just put this as. All right, now, if there are certain tactics that machines can't read, so a lot of people will get fancy. They'll put like coffee stains on it or different colors and all of that stuff. Whatever the strategy is, I know a little while ago they had a lot of trouble reading the highlighted text yellow. So it would automatically kick it to a human being. Now, here's what happens. If it gets kicked to a human, and just imagine this, now your deletions are at the mercy of this human being reviewing it. And what I mean by this is that if that person is having a great day, like their boyfriend, girlfriend loves them, they're in a new relationship, they're making a lot of money, whatever, then you're probably going to get a lot of deletions to start with right here, okay? So this could possibly translate into, deletions as long as they're in a, what we call a good mood, okay? So there. Okay. Now, however, if the human is in a bad mood, right, you're going to get a lot of rejections. And this is the main cause. And it's going to go right back to you verified. Okay? Now, this plays a huge role. Right? Now, a lot of people don't understand is that these humans have a stack of papers just like yours on their desk. Now, let's just say they get off work at 4:30, it's 4:20, and they still have like 100 left. Right? So what happens to your dispute when they can't get to it? Well, it goes straight into a trash can. Let's try to do this. A little funny little trash can. So it goes straight into the trash. And that's when you're generally going to get either no response at all after 30, 45 days, something of that sense, and you're starting all over. You have no idea what happened. Okay? Now, here is the part that everybody's kind of past, right? They're like, oh, this is great. Like we've got this new, Metro 2 software. Okay? It's going to be awesome. No two letters are the same. So when you're going to start here, you're going to send your letter out. It's going to go to the credit bureau's machine, just like over there. And the machine's going to then grab a human being, just like over there. I'm just going to go over this real quick. And it's going to grab the human being, okay? And it's going to either get the deletion or not, or the machine, because it's never seen the letter, is going to automatically delete items or all of them and send it back to you, okay? Delete it, right? And that's been the new crave, right? The new whole thing about dispute letters. None are the same, so that's why we're getting so many deletions, right? So here's the part that people miss about dispute letters is these systems learn, okay? So what happens is that the bureaus get overloaded with a bunch of stuff, okay? Now, when that happens, I'm just going to go see if I can move this over just a little bit. So when that happens, then they go to their fancy machine and they say, no more any of this. Like, we're going to block all letters. We're going to send all letters verified. Okay, so verify all, right? And you're going, well, how can they do this? Well, they can't really, but how are you going to know? They get overloaded, their systems start banking, they have problems, and they have to put a stop to letters, which is why you temporarily see this happens about 3 months into dispute letters, okay? So you'll start seeing accounts or removals up until about 3 months, and then after that, you're going to see stalls, okay? Now, people are like, well, mine don't stall, it's Metro 2, so all my letters are the same. So there's no way they can turn that off. Well, there is, and I'm going to give you an example of this right here. So I've removed this person. I found this on the internet, and I removed the person's information, right? So this is what you call a Metro 2 letter. Fancy. Except, when the systems see this, what you're seeing here are a lot of codes that are tied to it. So this one has a collection or charge off. That's not how their system reads it. Their system might read it as this code, stuff like that, right? So that's what everybody loves about this Metro 2. So let me tell you what happens when it gets to here and they're verifying all of them. And you're going, well, how can they verify all of them, right? Okay, so let me show you how as soon as I can going. Okay, so here's how they verify them. They just set the system to look for any of these laws. Okay, so you scroll down here. Oh, look, another law. Oh, look, another law, right? And if the letter, this fancy unique Metro 2 letter, has those laws in it, then this is what's going to happen. Verified. Okay, send it back over here. Okay, send it back to them. So that's really what's going to happen with those fancy Metro 2 letters. Okay, so now they're only going to do this temporarily. I mean, is it legal? No. But I mean, again, what are you going to do? They're going to do it probably for about a couple of months, 2-3 months sometimes, and they'll turn it back on by the time you figure it out. Okay, and it's just too late from there. So that's what this dispute letter process is. That's why you see things go to 3 months and then they start stalling. And I want to make something clear, absolutely. Okay, these credit repair companies, statistically data, okay, this is statistical data. If they have 100 clients, let's just say, right, there is no way they can get 100% of the negative items off of all. No way. Okay? This is just not possible for them. Statistically, for all 100 clients, right? Now, out of the 100 clients, they may have 10 that get removed 100%, but that time frame is usually a little while, right? But then what happens to the other 90 clients? So the way that this particular business model works is that they just keep marketing to get more clients, right? Because their whole business model is a subscription based. So when they figure, okay, based on their numbers, they'll look at their churn and they'll say, okay, the average person churns with us after 4 months. So then they know that they're going to get $140 times 4 months per 100 person. And then along the way, they're going to market to another 100 people, get another 100 people, get another 100 people, and just keep going, right? So that's their business model. They know that they cannot remove 100 clients 100% of the time on all 3 bureaus. okay, at best, and they will tell you this if they are worth their salt, okay, at best, if they're a truly good company and they're honest with you, they will likely get an average of 75% of all negative items in 12 months. Okay? That's if you're in the average. Okay? So just think about that when you're looking at these dispute letter companies. So 140 times 12 is a whopping $1,680 that you're going to be getting, that you're going to have to pay out for this on an average, right? Okay, I'm simply talking about averages here. So who has this amount of time? I don't really know, but tons of people do it. It's a huge market, okay? So that's how that works. Now, I want to go down here a minute, and I want to talk about the next way. So the way above, this is the first way, first method, okay? We're going to go down here to the second method that people use, which is sue them. Okay? Sue them. Hopefully that's spelled right. So here's the thing. Okay, this is a effective method on the surface. Okay? So you basically are doing these dispute letters coming through. I'm not really sure how to demonstrate this for the most part, so I'm just going to write it out. Dispute letters coming through, they don't work, okay? So not working, okay? And then they decide, okay, well, they're not working, so we're just going to issue a lawsuit, okay? And we're going to sue them after we've basically trapped them over the first couple of months into the reasoning that they can't remove this item, whether it's not verified, they didn't send you the process of how they verified it, whatever, right? So then you sue them, and it takes a little bit of time. If somebody's good at it, they could probably get it done in 3 to 6 months, and it could, when you look at it, it could probably be, let's see, 3 to 6 months on an average, and 100% off of all three is pretty strong. Okay, so it's possible. All right, so now when you look at it on the surface, you're going, oh yeah, this is great. So this is 75% after 12 months on an average, and this I could likely get 100%. Like, this is awesome, and you'll see results doing this, and you're thinking, oh, this is great. But here's what people don't even see on the back end. On the back end, like I told you, the system is learning, okay? Now, you're going to feel really good about right here, and then your scores are going to go up. It's going to be great. You're going to have, everything off, so it's going to really work to your advantage, and you're like, oh, I'm super excited. Then you go to apply for money, right? So you go to apply for money, okay? And then what happens? Denied. And you're going, why in the world am I denied? I have no negatives. My score is virtually 800. Why are they denying me? And here's why. Likely, okay? Now, I'm assuming everything's constant. Like, you've got perfect credit at this point. You've got low-risk LLCs. Like, your whole credit foundation's in order, and you're still getting denied. Here's likely why. So the credit bureaus, let me see if I can just change this color. So the credit bureaus put what they call notes on your financial profile. Okay, and they are notes that only banks can see and institutions, and you cannot, even when you pull it. So those notes are going to sometimes say, risky. Okay, so it could say risky. All right. In the background, it could say high risk, right? Okay. It could say high risk association. All right. So there's different notes that they put, right? So you get the point. So they're going to put notes on the back of your file because you filed lawsuits on them, and why they do have to remove it because they know their own system's flawed. You get these fancy notes as a thank you for wasting their time in that lawsuit, right? And yeah, they get it removed, but now you're going to be facing lower limits. I'd say, yeah, lower limits or denials for funding because of this. Okay, so you can see how this method is deeply flawed. It does get this, which is initially on the surface seems great, but because it is a ton better than this, but it's going to put notes on the back end of your file for institutions, basically saying, hey, here's a big, see you later, F you kind of thing, and have a good life. And then now you have no idea why they're denying you. Banks are not going to tell you why they're denying you, and you don't even have a clue where to start. And now it feels like you're building credit all over again because you have these great scores and nobody's giving you money that are limits worth their salt. Okay? So this is, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video. It's been a little bit, but this is the examples of what that is. These are the two most important methods that are out there, are the most popular methods. I wouldn't say they're most important, but it's the only two methods most people have access to. That's why being here is so important for you. We have, and I have, very unique resources that don't do either one of these methods, and the access that we have can get 100% off in very quick time frames, as you probably know watching this. So I just want to go over so you understand the other two, the most popular ways that you're finding information on the internet, and there's a lot of it. And yeah, so hopefully this video made sense for you, and I'm going to continue to make more of them. If you like it, just comment below, ask questions below, because I don't mind making videos. I just want to make sure everybody's participating, they understand. If they have any questions, I want to make the videos that you want the information to, not just sitting around randomly making videos that nobody cares about.